All right, sorry about that. So what we're gonna do is start where we left off here. We were about to fill in our sign chart. We're gonna graph the function. So in order to put it in the calculator, we're gonna have to type this in, okay? So I'm gonna go to my y equals on the calculator and we're gonna type in 1 divided by parentheses cosine x, close parentheses twice, square it, and then subtract 4/3. So subtract 4 divided by 3. And then I'm gonna go to my window before I hit graph. We only care about between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so I'm gonna type in 0 for the x min and 2 pi for the x max. And then I'm gonna hit graph. Okay, there's the graph. It looks like I could really, I could probably cut down some of this y-axis actually. So if I go back into window, I'm just gonna look for the y, let's go -2 to 2. All right. Now, one thing you could do while you have the graph pulled up is you could check some of the answers we got in step 3. So if I hit trace, if I were to type in pi over 6, because we said it was a 0 of the function, it should give us 0 back for the y value. So type that in, hit enter, we're gonna see 0 for the y, right? Now what if we typed in pi over 2? What would happen, do you think? Let's find out. So the function's undefined there. If we type in pi over 2, wow, look, we get nothing back for y. So that's verifying that it is undefined. It's actually an asymptote that you would see in the graph here. So okay, now look at the graph. Can you see how it's below the x-axis? So the function is negative, then the function is positive. Then the function is positive, then negative, then positive, then positive, then negative. Those are going to be our signs for our sign chart. I'm going to put them in real quick and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So it goes negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, positive, and then negative again. If you have trouble seeing that, you could always pick a test value. So you wanted to pick something between 0 and pi over 6. Maybe you would choose like pi over 12, right? Because pi divided by 12 is going to be smaller than pi divided by 6. So you'd hit trace and you would type in pi divided by 12, enter, and see how it gives you a negative value for y. So we'd know to mark that as negative. So you can go through the whole thing like this, just picking values that fit in and test them and see what happens. Okay, so I'm on to step 5. Step 5 is the final step where we write down what our answer is. Since we're looking for f of x being less than or equal to 0, we want the negative intervals in our answer, okay? So our answer is going to be, oh, you know what else we need the endpoints. The graph's below the x-axis on the endpoint, so it's negative. So we do want to include these endpoints because the fact that the graph is negative. So we'll have 0 to pi over 6, union, 5 pi over 6 to 7 pi over 6, union, 11 pi over 6, to 2 pi. All right, so there we go. And I have a crying baby, so it looks like I'm gonna have to cut this video short. We'll have to do the last problem in a separate video. All right, see you soon.